Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Mizumani G. Continuing my 31 Days of Horror, it is now time to review the latest entry into the VHS franchise. This one is VHS Beyond. Yes!
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Mizumani G. Now, VHS Beyond is a 2024 American found footage science fiction horror anthology film with segments that have been directed by Justin Long, Justin Martinez, Viral Pratt, Kate Siegel, and Jay Cheel. Now, in this particular anthology, we have six blood-curdling tapes that unleash horror in a sci-fi inspired hellscape, pushing the boundaries of fear and suspense. Ooh. Oh, come on, horror fans. It should be no surprise that we now have a seventh film in the VHS found footage film series. Not created in 2012 by film producer and founder of the horror website Bloody Disgusting Brad Miska, I think I pronounced his name right, the VHS found footage series is unique for the way, I guess is unique for its found footage films. That's because all the segments show videos played on VHS tapes with a frame narrative where a person watches several tapes while advances the overall narrative of the story. Basically, put you get a bunch of people sitting around. You got all these VCR tapes. They stick a tape in, watching these tapes, which shows various segments. While in the meantime, while we get to see every other tapes, we get to see what's happening in the frame narrative, is what they call it. As we get to see these tapes, every time when the tapes in, we get a continuation of the frame narrative until we get to the final conclusion of the frame narrative. Now, this series has been quite successful with six films in the franchise and two spin-off films I think it's a webisode. Now, the spin-off films are Siren from Amateur Night segment in the first film, and then Kids versus Aliens from the Slumber Party Alien Abduction segment in the second film. And now we have the seventh film in the series with all these segments that have a sci-fi element in them. This one is called VHS Beyond. Now, this version has six segments with a framed narrative that involves a documentary style video talking about a house whose owners believe that the house was haunted or had some type of supernatural occurrences in them, and that later on their son recorded two events before his disappearance. And then basically, what they do is they talk about the background of the house. The owners, who were Chinese immigrants, they lived there for a while. They eventually gave the house to their son. The son believed that there was some weird shit happening in the house, so he decided to record the events while he was sleeping. And that's basically what the wraparound or frame narrative of this particular version is. Now, the first video is called Stork, and it involves a police strike force who's investigating a string of babies that were kidnapped. Now, eventually, their investigation leads to a dilapidated house, which leads to a shocking revelation. And I won't reveal what that is, but if you saw the segment, you know what I'm talking about. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised that this segment might get a spin-off movie like Siren and Alien vs. Kid, because there's a lot you can do with this segment here. The second segment, called Dream Girl, has two Mumbai paparazzi reporters, Arnad and Suna, I believe pronounced his name right, who are told by their boss to get footage of the latest Bollywood star Tara. Now, while Tara is filming her latest video, Arnad is able to hide in her trailer hoping to get some pictures. And what happens next is something no one saw coming. Let's just say, I don't think you want to take a selfie with Tara. The next segment is Live and Let Dive. It involves a group of friends who decide to go skydiving to celebrate Zach's 30th birthday along with his wife. Unfortunately, they crash right into a UFO and then must fight for their lives in the air and possibly on the ground. That's the best thing I could come up with, because what happens after that, well, insanity ensues. The next segment is called Fur Babies and has an animal rights group investigating a dog care center run by Becky. However, there's more going on than the dog care center than what they bargained for. And that's really all I say about this segment. I believe out of this one, this is the wildest one in the bunch. The final segment is called Stowaway, and it's about a woman named Haley who decided to sacrifice her family to pursue her dream of extraterrestrial encounters in the Mojave Desert. Now, she eventually does encounter something in the desert that might have all dreams come true, but at a very, very high and deadly cost. Now, while there's no real standout segment in this particular series right here, because mostly when it comes to anthology horror films, there's always that one that stands out the most. Like, for me, I think the first one was Siren. There are some other ones that stand out a lot, but the last one didn't really have any standouts, and this really had any standout. But I believe most of all other segments were pretty good. They had some decent practical effects, especially the Dream Girl segment really had some decent practical effects in this one right here. But all the segments are pretty good. Not a really weak one, but not a real great one either. They're all pretty good. Now, as I stated earlier, I believe most horror fans will be talking about Fur Baby segment because, as I said, that was the weirdest one in the bunch. And while the frame narrative is a bit slow because it's really nothing really happens until the final segment of the frame narrative has a decent payoff at the end of it. Now, when we don't get any segments that are linked together like the two segments they were in VHS 85, we had two of the segments that were kind of linked together. They were all very well acted, very well directed. I really liked the Stowaway segment that was directed by Kate Siegel. That's Mike Flanagan's wife. I think he actually wrote the screenplay. I thought it was a very effective segment right there. I really liked the actress who played Haley. I think she did a pretty good job. I really thought Kate Siegel did a great time in her first time behind the camera. And like I said, I thought I really did enjoy all the segments. And again, like I said, it's really not a standout segment out of all the six segments in the film. In this particular film, like I said, the wraparound or frame narrative segment was kind of slow at first because nothing really happens. It's basically just people talking about the house. And it wasn't until the end that we actually get a payoff in there. But I really did enjoy all six segments. Now, I'm sure we'll be seeing another addition to its growing franchise. So they do a great job in creating some decent and effective horror found footage segments. I mean, you really can't get enough about what a great job that Brad has done since he started this franchise back in 2012, getting a whole bunch of young writers and directors in the field of horror. Even some of the people who have been in horror films, like Justin Long, he's actually started. He actually put one. I forget which one. I think it was a Fur Baby, so I had to take a look again. But everyone did a good job. I really love all the segments, and again, outstanding job, and I'm pretty sure we'll get another VHS next year. So I'm going to give VHS Beyond 4 out of my 5 Bloody Gold coins. Might actually be in my top 10 best horror films of the year because, like I said, I enjoyed all the segments. All the segments are pretty good. I believe the wildest one is Fur Babies. I'm pretty sure a lot of people enjoy that one. The craziest one, I believe, is Dream Girl. Because, like I said, you will not want to take a selfie with Tara. So, once again, 4 out of my 5 Bloody Gold coins. So there you have it, horror fans. That is my video and review of VHS Beyond. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Have you seen VHS Beyond? What do you thought about it? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell you your thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules. And I see you in my next video. That guys, stay safe out there.